Hello and thanks for tuning in to this video. So for this one we're going to look at another one of the new features on firmware 4.0 for the Deluge. I have previously done a video on all the new sequencing things, which are the things that got me, or sorry I should say is the thing that got me most excited I think about the new update. This one is a little bit more on sort of organisation and practical stuff, but also very useful, and it did something that kind of got me sort of excited in an OCD kind of way. So this is looking at the new folders section that we can create for our kits and our synths. What I'm going to do first of all is just show you my the contents of my SD card. So we've got it as it normally is, okay, with the songs and synths and samples and everything. If we go into the synths folder, normally this would just be loads of XML files all listed together. As you can see, I've now got all these folders. So we've got ops and plucks, gotta be careful how I say that, basses, brass, evolving and effects, FM, leads, orchestral and real, pads, pianos, keys and bells, and strings. So these are all the folders I've created. What I've also done is, let's just go into, for example, the leads folder. I've gone through all the original presets that come on the SD card when you first download the contents and put it into your Deluge, and I've named them all because originally, and when you get them and if you download them, it's just like 1 to 170. And I never really went through many of those presets because you had to get the manual out, look at what number it is and look at what it meant. And it was just, I don't know, I mean, why they didn't just name all these in the first place, it would have made life a lot easier. But I've spent my precious time and very sadly gone through every single one of those and named them according to the name that they were given in the manual. Okay, so they've now all got a name, which makes a little bit more sense than just a number. I've also then put those into all these category folders. Now some of those are duplicated, so for example the FM ones, put anything that's to do with FM in an FM folder, but you can see such as rich FM pad is also, assuming I got it right, is also in the pads folder. So where there is a little bit of overlap on the two, I have put them together in that respect. So we've got now all these folders with everything in, and everything is named and it's all nice and neat. I'm going to talk a little bit in a while about how you can get hold of the contents of my SD card. So in terms of songs, there are all these songs. There's loads of my songs on there, so you can see how I've put these on for playing them live. These are all songs, just basic song ideas I've just messed about with. So you can have all of those. You can have all the samples that go with those. There's a few covers in there as well, such as I Feel Love, my remix of Stranger Things, and various other ones in there. All the samples that go with those are in those folders, so there's quite a lot of samples in there also. And then I've also done the same thing with the kits. I've named the kits, which go from 1 to 13 or 14, is it? It's to 14, so I've named all of those, which are in here, and then all the other ones I've not named as yet. I've also got in there a 707 and a 727 kit. So basically, let's talk about that now. If you want to get hold of the contents of my SD card, then all you got to do is head over to my Patreon and sign up for that and support me on Patreon on tier 2 or above, which I think is £3 a month or $3 a month. You will then get the contents of my SD card, along with other stuff that I put up on there. And this is going to be a work in progress. Every time I kind of create a new sound or put something new on here, I will update that file on Patreon, and you can just constantly get the contents of my SD card. So let's head over to the Deluge and we'll talk a bit about the new folder system now you've seen how it looks on my card. Okay, so here we are then over on the Deluge view. Now the way this works, normally when you switch it on and you go into your synth, it would, through here, you would have access to every single preset. Now, the way I found it works with folders is, if you have everything in folders, it seems to just open up the first folder. So at the moment, it's got my ARPS folder open. I'll show you how to open other folders in a second, because this is something I had to work out with a little bit of trial and error, because the manual's not dead clear in that respect, which is sort of why I've done this video, in case anybody else is having the same problem. I've also noticed that if you have any presets that aren't in a folder, it will just show these on here. So if you've just got one preset in a folder, all it will do is will show you that on here, and you can't scroll through the others until you load those folders in. So you have to actually load each folder to get access to it. To load the folder, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to press load and then synth, okay, and at the moment it's just going through all the presets that are in that folder that's still open, my ops folder. If we press back, it takes us kind of into the folders section. So we can hear we've now see we've got all my different folders. So if I want a pads, I would select pads. Don't forget, if your name is longer than it can read on here, you can scroll around it using this dial here. Okay. What's that one? Evolving and FX. That's FM. But let's say I want a lead sound. So I would then press down on there. That's going to then open up that folder. I can then scroll through all the sounds in this folder and audition them down here. Okay, so let's say I like that sound. Then we're just going to press enter and find it there. You also get the keyboard up there. If I just do that again, we get the keyboard thing in here. So you can actually type in, if you know the sound of it, you can type in the name of it in here and it will find it that way. So that's how you're going to load stuff in, and then basically as we scroll through here, you've got the contents of that folder. Okay, so you can only kind of have one folder open at a time, which sort of makes sense. You know, it's just like a browser on a computer. But if you're wondering where all your presets have gone, if you put them all into folders, you've got to remember to open the folder. So that's how you're going to find your presets. So if we look at now at how to create a folder for a completely new patch. So I'm just going to create a new synth here. So we've got an initialized patch here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click down. Once you've made any changes you want and you want to save this into a folder, we're going to hold save and we're going to press down on synth here. Now the first thing we've got to do is we're going to give our folder a name. Okay, so I'm going to call the folder, I don't know, 111. Okay, and we're going to hold long press on save, and it will ask us, it will say create. We're going to press save again. Okay, and then you would give your preset a name, which I'm going to call 99, and then we would press save and it says done. So you can see we're on preset 99 now. As I scroll around there, you can see it says none because I've only got one preset in that folder. If I go back, let's just load a different folder. Ooh, hang on. Okay, so let's say we've loaded in that one in pads, and I want to find that preset I've just done. Okay, so we'd go load synth. We're going to find that folder which was called 111. Sorry, I'm not in the folder section. There's the folder with 111. We're going to press enter, and then you can see we've got just that one patch in there, that 99. We can load that in, and we've got that sound. So that's how you're going to create a folder. So the important thing is you've got to get the sequence of that right. Remember, you're going to create your folder first, and then you have to give it its name. Okay, remember, so you're going to go save synth, type in name in here, okay, and long save it, and that's going to create that folder with that name. Then you give your preset a name, otherwise it will end up going the other way around. So yeah, I mean that's basically it for the saving of and creating of folders and things. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it does make life a lot easier, and hopefully by me naming all the presets for you, that's something you may be of interest of to go and support me on Patreon to get that. If you don't want those, you just want to kind of help support me anyway, you can still head over to Patreon. There are various different tiers you can support me at, starting at £1 a month, which all makes my life a lot easier for funding doing all this stuff and all these videos, and I am hopefully going to be back on here a lot more regularly now. So yeah, hopefully that answers any questions you may have about the new file system. If you've got any questions about it, then let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer those. Thanks for watching. Check my music out on Spotify, Apple Music, all that. If you like kind of acid electronica or ambient-y kind of stuff, that's the thing I want to do. And yeah, if you're feeling generous, head on over to Patreon. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.